How are you?
Great to see you.
It's coming down to the home stretch.
It's coming down to the home stretch.
It's coming in the home stretch
today
here.
Is it.
We met Chief Contee on his last day at police headquarters. The average tenure of a big city chief is 2 to 5 years, and that was before the pandemic. Now, as we're emerging into something new, so is Contee.
I don't know what a happy hour is. I've never really had the ability to enjoy something as simple as that.
From the badge to the backyard barbecue, it's the simple things that Contee is looking most forward to as he embarks on a new phase of life.
My son wants to take a guys trip. I also want to spend some time with my wife and do something someplace else outside of this region, preparing my daughter for college.
Things hit different when you're not the police chief.
It is very different.
For most of his time as chief, Contee has had to respond to a series of devastating calls. Lately, many of them involving children whose lives have ended tragically.
If it's one too many for me. We have to try different things, and when things don't work, we have to do something different. The one thing that I know we can't do is we can't give up on our children. We can't do that. That's not an option.
Contee knows what his life would be like if someone had given up on him. He grew up in the Carver Terrace neighborhood in Northeast D.C., surrounded by drugs and crime. But he found inspiration as a high schooler when he became a police cadet at age 17.
And I look into the eyes of these young people that have decided, that made a decision at 17, 18 years of age, that they want to give their life to public service. I get excited about that.
The chief says one of his biggest accomplishments has been around inspiring people like these young cadets. The majority are coming from wards 7 and 8.
When I was in elementary school, this is my elementary school SRO right here.
Oh my, did you know at the time that he was going to be the chief?
Didn't have a clue.
Contee had lofty goals when he took office back in 2021. He wanted to strengthen relationships with the community and MPD and hold not just offenders, but the criminal justice system accountable for helping to create a safer city.
2 years ago, the conversations were just fix the police and everything will be great. And I think that we're in a very different space now when it comes to what I think the city will do over the course of the next several years.
As for the next leader of the Metropolitan Police Department, in addition to being a leader and crime fighter, Contee offers 2 other ingredients for a successful police chief.
You want a chief of police who's empathetic, and you want a chief of police who has compassion.
Of course, Contee started as chief just a few days before the January 6th attacks, and you might think that that was the most difficult moment for him, but he says the hardest days are the everydays when the toughest calls come in. And he recalled last Thanksgiving when a 2-year-old found an illegal firearm that his father had in the home and shot himself. And Contee found himself tapping into that compassion, comforting officers who were crying and distraught over what they saw. And the time when he was at a marriage retreat with his wife and he got a call about the murder of 10-year-old Micaiah Wilson. Guys, this job is nonstop. It takes a toll, and so you can see why most chiefs end up leaving between 2 and 5 years.
You know, one thing I noticed, he had a decidedly different demeanor in his chat with you. He seemed more positive than we normally see him, more optimistic. We know this has taken a toll. What has this done that kind of sacrifices with his family?
Well, it's considerable when you consider the job is nonstop. The phone rings every hour, on the hour, nonstop. And the chief has to be there. So we're coming up on Memorial Day weekend. This is the first time in decades that he's actually been able to celebrate a holiday with his family on the holiday. We kind of know this as journalists, right? A lot of us work on holidays, so you end up sort of rescheduling. Oh, we'll do Christmas this day. We'll do this holiday this day. This is really the first time he's going to be able to celebrate holidays with his family in real time, undistracted. Be able to do that homework in real time, undistracted. So this is a big opportunity for him. Again, he starts as the assistant director with the FBI on July 17th. And again, heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? Definitely a lighter weight on those shoulders, but he's given 30+ years to the city, and he's ready.
So much.
He's done so much for this city and is ready to do even more in this new role.
And now it's his turn to spend more time with his wife, as he said, more time with his kids.
Absolutely. Happy wife, happy life.
That's true. That's true. Great
Good
reporting,
stuff.
Les. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, for more on Chief Contee's departure, head over to WSA9.com or download our free app.